right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's episode. Listen, today's episode is exciting, especially for those out there that are hustling, that are looking to change their life and transform, or simply generate an extra income, right? So today we're going to be talking about the fastest way to make $100,000 in 2024. All right, $100,000 was something a couple years ago. Now the new thing is 100,000 a month, right? But I'm gonna let my boy here, Leonardo Garcia, introduce today. And listen, pay attention to this. Listen up, Leo. Take it over, man.
Welcome to ETA, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the entrepreneurs in the arena. All right. Well, that's an interesting topic because a lot of people tend to think right now, half the year's gone. Can you guys? It's like blink. If you really think about it, just the other day we're doing our goals, affirmations. We're doing these vision boards, and here we are, half a year. You got to ask yourself: are you where you feel you should be? A lot of people, their goal for the whole year is 100,000. It's real simple though. We have 6 months. The way I've seen it from a lot of people I've learned, one day is not 24 hours. One day is 8 hours. I mean, you listen to Kobe Bryant's book, and other people that also do the same method. They cut 24 hours into 3 days. So we're gonna give you a blueprint today that can be followed to do six figures in 6 months. Why not? Six figures in 6 months. The way and I gotta attest to this. The first thing you're gonna need is complete belief in yourself. All right, you're gonna have to believe in who you are, and look at yourself in the mirror and affirm and believe who you are, because none of this works. Nothing that we're gonna say today is going to work if you do not believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, steal somebody else's belief. Let's start there. So the first thing you need is belief. Now, I work in the insurance industry. So in talking about insurance and with the great mentors that I have, one of which is on the screen, one thing that he loves to say is throw gas on the fire. Anybody ever start a barbecue grill and it's a low flame, you throw some lighter fluid, what happens? Fire just blows up in your face, right? That's what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to give my approach, but we're going to give it like we did last week in a nice conversation. But I wanted to start off with that one thing, because nothing we say works if you don't believe it can be done. So if you're listening, watching, if you're at home listening to it later, you got to remember that none of the methods we are going to say works if you don't believe in yourself. So my number one thing is believe in yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself, steal someone else's belief, meaning those people that look at you in a higher regard, if you're in the right circle, are going to feed belief into you. That's when you start believing in it. Believe what they're telling you. Believe that you're that person. Believe that you're that hungry. Believe that you could do it. Because with that, I think you could do anything in this world. That's what God gave us. We could do all things through Jesus. And that's one of those things that comes to me is you really have to have belief. One of the systems I believe in is leads. But I'm going to give it over to my friend over here, mentor, the one and only coach. He's always got these beautiful things to make you believe in yourself. That's what he's done for me. So I want him to come in and talk about how he would throw gas on your fire.
So thank you for that, Leonardo. Now, I like to take it back a step back. I like to ask people, ask yourself what type of relationship you have with yourself, right? Kind of focus on that. Think about that, right? Because you do have to believe in yourself, 100%. But what if you don't believe in yourself? Then I always tell people, okay, if your goal is to make 100K a year, you need to find someone that's already making the type of income you already making and follow their moves. One of the things I always tell people, I'm one of the biggest thieves in the industry. I steal all the time. When I say I steal, I'm stealing people moves, I'm stealing people ideas, I'm stealing people principles, and I'm implementing them to my business. So it's all about copying the right cat. This is a copycat type of deal. You need to figure out what principles you need to apply in order to make six figures. So I would say, like you said, belief, the relationship you have with yourself, and finding the people that already in the arena, right? In the arena, that's making the type of money you want to make. And then I'm gonna go to another one. You need to learn certain skills in order to make this happen. So I know John probably could piggyback off that. Certain skills you need to apply in order to make six figure in 2024 faster. So one of the skills I would say probably is communication, negotiation. A lot of people say negotiation and communication is the exact same thing. Once you learn how to negotiate and become a better communicator, you could it's easier to keep relationships. And these are some of the things that we need to have anyway as parents, as spouses, as business people, as friends, because we have to communicate with our kids too, right? We have to communicate with them. So I would go with communication, negotiation. I know Leo and probably John have some other skills they want to add to that.
All right, John, you got something for us?
Absolutely, man. I got something right now. I'm trying to fix this mic. We're live. I'm trying to fix this mic. It's got an echo. So I'm gonna let Leo and Mark, which they generated the six figure, do their thing. Yeah.
Here's one. And Mark, it's interesting to say that because I heard one a phrase that stuck with me. You don't get out of life what you deserve. You get what you can negotiate. I've never forgotten that phrase ever since I heard it, and it's true. You get what you can negotiate out of life. Communication is key. Now, in my industry, and I think this is true for every industry, if you supply something and you have no one to supply it to, then you don't have a business. So, in me saying this word, be careful how you hear it, depending what industry you're in. But I'm going to use that word a lot of people don't like to hear: leads. You need leads. So, let's say you can mathematically break down how many people you need to speak to if you're keeping track of your business. So on top of communicating and negotiating and copying the right cat, now those are the skills, but now you need the item. And that's why I think leads are important. So when I did my first six figures, I had no idea how I did it. I could say I had just had tremendous amount of work ethic. I was told 20 leads a day, 20 leads a week, go get it. So I stuck to the system that was taught to me. After that, I was able to use hindsight. Hindsight is very powerful. You get to look back and now you get to track down what you're doing. So as an individual, you should all track your business. Take this week, go from Wednesday to Wednesday, right? See how many people you speak to and see how many of those convert into actual clients. Get that mathematical number, and now we have to find out how much we have to accelerate. Because if you're using the same work ethic, that's the one thing you can control. You can't control if somebody buys. You can't control if they pick up the phone. You can't control if they open the door.
Right.
But if you could figure out how many leads you need to get the number you got this week, now we got to intensify that and put gas on it by doubling or tripling up. And I know what's going to come up, Mark. You know what's going to come up. I can't afford it. I can't get leads. You can't afford not to. Mm-hmm. So the same way you would find a way to feed yourself, you have to find a way to feed your business. What do you think about that, Mark? That's what I think right there.
That's
I
right.
agree with you 120%, man.
Yeah.
You need people to talk to. You need people to present to. You need people to educate. You need enough people to make an offer to, right? So they can make a decision. You can make some money, right? So you can make a sale. Now, one of the things I noticed about individuals when they step out of faith and into entrepreneurship, they do not create a routine, a schedule. Remember, entrepreneurship is a catch-22. Yes, you're your own boss now, but that doesn't mean that you could just wake up when you want to. That doesn't mean that you can go to the grocery store 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That doesn't mean you could be a Uber driver for everyone in your family and your friends because you have the time. You don't.
Oh yeah.
Matter of fact, if you're trying to make six figures, you need to work even more, and you need to stick to a schedule. So you need to be a great boss for yourself. So you need to hire. You need to look at yourself like, I'm the employee in my business. I am the boss, and I am the worker, the employee. I'm the employer and the employee. Now you need to stay committed and be very, very, very diligent and hard on yourself. You need to be hard on yourself than anyone else. You're gonna be your strongest critic. And I noticed that a lot of people, they can't keep up with a routine because they allow outside distractions to intervene. So let me ask you this, Leo, from your experience, because all of us had a 9 to 5. What were some of the biggest distractions you think that it came to kind of throw you off your routine? What do you have a couple of them that you can think of, or
Yeah,
entrepreneur would go through?
of course. I
Because
mean, I hope
remember,
people are
oh, I'm
writing
sorry,
these notes.
I'm
Hmm.
saying because a lot of people don't know their blind spot. They don't know what's distracting them. They think it's normal, but that's the reason I'm asking you this question, because they may think that's the norm, but it's not. So that's why I'll answer this question, Leo.
And you're talking about like blind spots and when I became an entrepreneur, right? Like the things
Yes.
I thought might have been normal. Oh,
Yeah.
that's easy. See, oh yeah, I remember a lot of them. See, when I was educator, we had bells. Bing, first period. Bing, second period. Bing, third period. You got lunch. You got to prep. You got to go back to work. If I had to go, if my mom needed to go to the hospital, mom, I work today. I don't have any sick days. I can't go. We got to figure something out. She'll have to reschedule, whatever the case may be. As an entrepreneur, unfortunately, one of the things that I'm really hope people are writing this down because we just dropped some jewels. We already talk about belief and faith in yourself. We talked about upping, adding up on more leads. And now we're talking about making sure you get those distractions out of the way. I had to throw that out there for those people that are writing things down because as an educator, I used to write things down. So let me go into this part. So we have to learn just how we have to get used to routine, as you said, creating a new routine. We have to teach that routine to others and teach them how to treat our MMA. MMA, what is that? Money making activity.
Yeah.
We have to treat them and teach them when it's green light and when it's red light. We all take breaks. But being one of the biggest things I had is that since I'm on the road, I would be called, hey, can you pick this up for me and bring it by? You're on the road anyway. uh, I'm on a way to go to John Smith's house. I'm not really. Well, when you're done, just by. No, that's a whole half hour. I just lost some time,
Hmm.
money making activity to go and bring something to someone because I was being nice. So you have to respect yourself and respect your time. I've gotten phone calls, text messages, and they come from all different places. At first, you would think it was just like it'll come from your friends, the ones you have left once you become an entrepreneur. Because let's be honest, you know, when you're on a rocket ship, the two little rockets on the side fall off when you reach a certain altitude. Those friends will fall off, but the ones that stay on for the ride a little longer, they can become a distraction. You get distractions in the form of family. I'm talking about mother, father, sister, grandmother, grandfather, sons, daughters, because
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden you're the one that has the free time, and I
Right.
do air quotes. You have free time. So it's like, can you go there? Can you go there? You can, but you have to know as an entrepreneur that in doing that, you will
Mm,
sacrifice other time. So
mm.
that's another thing people have to understand. That's one of two things that I believe you're gonna sacrifice. You're gonna sacrifice time or money. That's what I believe. If you can't do something, you're gonna have to pay somebody to do it. And if you can't afford it, then you gotta do it yourself. Those are the only
Absolutely.
ways that you could scale your business. And I honestly feel that. So when you say, are there distractions? Of course. And to make it worse, you don't always see them, like you said, a blind spot. This is
Mm.
why I also believe that one of the things that you're going to need to, in 6 months, to scale to six figures. Look, man, John always refers to the Bible. There's one of the, it's not going to be a Bible quote, but it's definitely something from the Bible. We're not meant to do anything alone. We're not
Mm.
meant to be alone. So, in me saying that, you're going to need some tough, go ahead, write this down, TL, tough love. You're going to find that mentor that's going to tell you, like I've had my mentor, Mark, tell me that two of my anchors is my mom and my son. Now, he didn't mean that in a bad way. He meant that I would stop, drop, and roll to do whatever I had to do for them. But I'm also saying that I'm gonna stop, drop, and roll for my goals. So I have to prioritize when am I gonna stop from sacrificing my goal to help those anchors. So you got to be really, really in tune with your goal. Have it in front of you, read it, have somebody that's going to remind you, make you accountable,
Mm.
because you're not, I don't think you can do this journey alone in 12 months, let alone 6. We're talking about 26 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. And starting today, if you really think about it, it's 25. In 25 weeks, you have to be able to make 25,000, just about, no, to get to your goal. You got to break in, let's say, 100,000 divided by 26 weeks. It's about three. It's a pretty good hustle. And I'm talking about the insurance. I never mind anything else. Now, is it possible? Absolutely. It's not only possible, it's maintainable. But I feel that people need to think of one thing. How do you eat an elephant? One bite
But
at a time. And if you do that and you take your big scale of 100,000, let's make believe that all of you started at zero today. Let's say 100,000.
mm-hmm.
Let's break this. Let's do the John and break this puppy. Let's break this puppy, all right? We do it in months. Break it down to weeks. Then break it down to days. Now you know how long and how hard it's really going to be for you to get there, and you'll be able to limit your distractions. You pick up a routine. I had to start waking up an hour early. Why? Because I'm messing with these two fools on the screen right now, and they got me waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to the gym. I was doing it 3 times a week. I was told, no, you got to go every day. So now I'm waking up every day at 5 o'clock in the morning without an alarm clock, but it's something that I had to do and sacrifice, because here I am. I got to be healthy to do what I'm doing. So, guys, ladies and gentlemen, the name of the game for me is sacrifice, is maximize, and where there's a will, there's a way. So
That's
I
right.
don't. Money is really not the object, because money can be obtained. If somebody told, like Mark always says, he feels his kids are being hostage every day. And that's how he goes to work. Somebody got
Urgency.
his kids, and until he doesn't create that urgency, that's the way he creates that urgency. That's exactly what you need to do within your business. Create that urgency. That urgency will make you start creatively thinking to, to between the urgency and the faith on bringing the money that's needed to accelerate your business. I really believe that you just need people in front of you. It doesn't matter if you're doing real estate, if you have a corner bodega, if you do insurance, whatever it is. It takes people to make your business excel. So how do you get those people? And it
So,
starts with leads.
let me ask you this, Leo. So, would you say having crucial conversations is another aspect that you need to add to what you're doing? Because that lines up with support. Because you just said, John said, you can't do it by yourself. So I would add this: you need to have some tough conversations with your loved ones, and so everybody could be aligned and support you. You need that cheerleader at home when you come home, and you need that I always say that drill sergeant at you too. So you need both. You need a drill sergeant and you need a cheerleader, and that's your support system. So the more people you tell about your goal, the more people you tell about that you want to get to
Yeah.
100K faster, they can hold you. One, they're gonna hold you accountable, and plus they're gonna cheer you on because they want to be your biggest fans.
Yeah, and that's got to be a reward, and there's a reward to it. You don't do it by yourself. You do it as a family, a team. Like
Right.
there's nothing that makes me happier than seeing my teammates win, because to me, my teammates are my family. So I feel that we push each other. And the best thing is, one of the things that was said on one of our calls in the morning is, don't keep your goals a secret. If they're a secret, you're not even being accountable. You're lying to yourself. No one's going to say, hey, how's it going? You want somebody to call you, hey, how's it going? Where are your numbers at? oh, I'm doing this. Why? Because it keeps you sharp.
That's right.
If you don't know your own numbers, how you expect everybody else to know them? And here's the thing. Here's a great nugget that happens. And it happens. It's happened to me, and I'm sure it won't be the last time. Leo, what's your numbers? I'm at 99,000, man. I just need one more. Listen, my sister needs a policy. I'm gonna have her call you. Boom. They just supported you. They helped you. They see that you're really struggling. Instead of them writing it, they give it to you. They could have wrote it themselves.
Right.
But people will, your team, your core, the people that are out there grinding with you in the pit will actually help you. I have a lot of different people that have sent me referrals just because they feel that, for whatever reasons, they want to help me out. They actually believe in what I do. They believe in me. I've helped them out. So all those aspects, don't be a secret agent. Don't have your goals a secret. I mean, I don't think that you should say every move. There is a thing like I'm buying a house. Don't tell people you're buying a house until you bought it, because it also breeds envy. But when it comes to your goals and dreams, put them out there. The ones that are going to support you are going to be part of your soldiers. They're going to help you get there. So I mean, there's a lot of jewels that have been dropped, man. I'm writing notes, looking at my phone, thinking of to the recall to tell you guys. I hope all of you are paying attention, because some of this is just refreshing what I need to do to finish my goal of where I want to be at the end of this year.
You guys probably more familiar than I am about the David and Goliath story. Did David tell everybody that what he was going to do? He did, right?
He told everybody, yes, but it's not like he gave the strategy. He didn't give the map. Nobody believed him.
Nobody believed him, but he told everybody, because let me tell you why. That built belief. The more people you tell, you have to do it. I told you I was going to do 7 to 8 figures by 2027. I have to do that now, because that's my word. And this comes back to how you hold yourself accountable and what type of relationship you have with yourself. That's what it goes back to. If you're a person that has integrity, you're going to remember what you tell people, and you're going to make sure that you achieve your goals. That's what I noticed from talking to a lot of successful minds, because that's the difference between someone who loses and wins. The person who wins, they're going to prophesy and tell everyone. They don't care about the envy. They don't care about the noise, the boos in the crowd. They don't care about that, because they know they're going to be boos. But guess what? How do we turn those boos into people cheering? We need to do it.
The Rocky movie.
We need to do it. You need to turn your haters into your followers by moving mountains, by beating Goliath. And it was something on Spot. I think I seen a movie, Spider-Man, where he said, if you live long enough, your enemy is going to be your fans, or something like that. I gotta go back to watch that. But he said something like that. Somebody told Spider-Man
that. Makes you think about it.
Shout out to you Marvel fans. And I think
man. So
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say another skill that you need to adapt is control your emotions. I think that's what separates the 6 figure to the 7 figures. I think if once that person controls their emotions, they'll be on their way to making 7 figures even faster. Mm-hmm. Getting upset shouldn't be the first option. When somebody says something that doesn't rub you the right way, or when things don't go your way, that shouldn't be your first option of getting upset. You should have a system. Think about, be calm, and ask questions. And asking the right questions is all about sales. Sales is asking about the right questions. And another thing I want to add to this too is not sounding like a 1964 salesman. A lot of people are still listening to some of these old sales tactics, and it's not working. People could hear and feel a salesman from a mile away. If you go in a car dealership, hey, by the energy, by being so hype, being so loud, that triggers people and that shuts people down. That tells me, okay, he's trying to sell me something. So if I come into you with the right tonality and ask you the right questions, I don't sound like a salesman anymore. I just sound like a human being that's just trying to guide and help you. So I think we need to be mindful of what we're listening to when it comes to sales, because sales is just communication. Is all about asking the right questions. That's what that, I mean. Is that simple? But some of the simplest things to make six figures are overlooked. People are they're looking way past the simple principles and the simple skills in order to do that.
Mm, that is very true. I you're speaking about that salesman. I actually watched something the other day that they were talking about two salesmen. There's the one that's technical. You go in there and they tell you, "Oh, it has AC, it has this, it has that," and that person has a harder time selling than the person that basically says, "Can you picture yourself driving this car and how it feels when you're just driving in the air is just going through your hair?" You place the person there, you create a story, make it simple, make them, why is this tangible to me? So it brings me back to that thought. But to keep it on track on the six, it's really not as hard as we made it out to be. I mean, one of the things we mentioned is belief, right? One, oh, look at that, thumbs up. One of the things that we mentioned is belief. The other thing we mentioned is people to talk to. So we're going to use word leads. We talked about being accountable to someone, not keeping it a secret, right? We talked about routine. This for all those writers out there, just in case something pops in your head as well. Routine. We talked about dissecting the 100,000 into little pieces so you know what you got to do every day, week, month, and boom, 6 months later, you got your 100,000. Um, all those things I think are the most vital in making sure that you stay on your journey and enjoy the journey, man. Respect the process. Um, I think one thing that we overlook, I would say even I would overlook in everything we just mentioned is, and it's real simple. You have to keep your mindset. So, in the process of doing all these wonderful things that we talked about, let's not forget to keep reading a book. Like you have us reading Buy Back Your Time. That was one of the best books that I've ever picked up. And I feel it should be introduction to business. I feel like when you decide to be an entrepreneur, this should be one of the manuals handed to you because I think one of the things that every entrepreneur suffers from is GSD. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're gonna have to read the book. Why do I say that? Because every entrepreneur wants to, they got it. That's the feeling they got. But if you keep doing that, you will burn out. And if you read this as a manual coming to the business, there's formulas in it. For those of people that say, I don't have enough money, there's a formula. There's ways to get assistance now. There's not even in the States, and it's quality assistance where people can help you out. But you got to know that. You got to know, reach out, reach up to someone that's doing it. So it goes back to what you're saying, copying the right cat. That's changed my business. I had no presence at one time. I have some presence now online, and it's because I
Mm-hmm.
started copying the right cat. That's it. So I mean, I think it's a lot more simple than looking at the problem as six figures. I think it's a lot simpler than that.
And I like what you said. I want to recommend a book too. Crunching down time frames, 12-week year. That book is amazing. If you want to crunch down time frame, that's one of the books. Remember, the person that's making $1 billion versus the person that's making 50K, they have the same 24 hours. But the question is, what are you doing within those 24 hours? Another thing you might want to do too is partner up with your weakness. So if you know you're lacking in this department, create a relationship with someone or hire someone that's that's their superpower, that's their strengths. Now, a lot of times as entrepreneurs, we don't want to allocate that type of money to someone else. but you need a partner. You need a sidekick. You need a running mate. There you go. You need some of these things to get there faster. Sometimes you need to step back, two step back in order to, like a slingshot. You need to go back in order to go faster. And a lot of people are not willing to go back in order to go faster. And we call it getting small in order to get bigger. A lot of people are not willing to do that. They're not willing to go backwards when it comes to funding your business. And when I say funding, I mean allocating to your weaknesses in order to see the thing about that. Let me tell y'all something about that. Whatever you do today, when it comes to entrepreneurship and sales, you're not going to have instant gratification. You have to wait to see it. You will have to plant that seed, and you have to be patient and wait for it to come in 90 days. So that person that you partner with, that person that you hired, that's your weakness, your alter ego, your running mate. You have to, you need to stand the time and be patient in order to see how that flourish. But a lot of times people don't have that patience. Leo, John, they don't have the patience to wait for the seed to grow.
They just want to cook their meals in the microwave. Nobody wants to bake anymore. Nobody wants to put food in the oven and let the middle get warm. So it's a microwave. You hear this all the time, microwave society. We really, in entrepreneurship, you got to get away from the microwave society thoughts. Like, you can't think about, it's hard. I guess what I'm trying to say is you really can't take the elevator. You're gonna have to take the stairs this time. And as long as you do these little things, I think it's. I still think, I really believe, I have a lot of faith, not only in myself and others around me, that six figures is not a unbelievable task. Now, if we were in December and you just started and you're trying to make $100,000 in a month, I don't know. You're gonna have to be selling water in a desert, because I don't see any other way to do it.
Yeah, let me jump in real quick without my headset, because I keep hearing myself. But listen, one thing that we forget about is Quantum Leap, right? There's a little tiny book called Quantum Leap. I forgot the name; it's upstairs, but something about Quantum Leap, right? And I'm looking to see if I have it right next to me, but I don't. So one thing that we forget about is quantum leaps, man. Like you should be able to go. And I know one thing that Myron Golden says is, if you're making 4,000 a month right now, you should not be looking into how to make 5,000 a month. You should not be looking into how to make 6,000 a month. He said, if you're making 4,000 right now, you should be looking into how to make 40,000 a month, right? So that's that quantum leap that we forget about. And also Russell Brunson, he talks about list hacking, right? The fastest way to success is find the people that have your audience, build a relationship with that person, and get into their list. Be direct with them. Be like, hey, listen, I have a product, you have a list. Or vice versa. Hey, I have a list, you have a product. Why don't we merge together? Do a webinar, do a seminar, right? Do an email blast, do a text message blast. But quantum leap, right? That's the one thing that most people forget about. Trust me. God made the heavens and the earth in 6 days, and he rested on the seventh. And God said in the book of Genesis, we're created to his image. That's right. If my father could do it, so can I, because he's backing me up. As long as it's legal, ethical, and it's good for people. All right. We're not selling things that are going to hurt people.
Exactly.
So the quantum leap, man, you got to start asking yourself, and this is one thing Myron Golden always says, and I listen to it, is like, ask yourself, how can I create a quantum leap today? How can I create a quantum leap today? Keep asking yourself that, and trust me, what you focus on grows. Just like stress grows, just like disbelief grows, just like whatever other things grow, right? Ask yourself, how can I create a quantum leap in my life? And you're going to find the answer, man.
So, John, let me ask you this. Do you think your surroundings, your environment is important to stay motivated, to stay conscious of your goal?
Leo said it. He was working out 3 days a week.
Yeah.
I don't know what I told him, but in my mind, I'm like, what are you, a baby? He's not. All right. What did he do? He's a grown man. He's coachable. Now he's working out. He's working out every day. Right? There's no need for rest, man. Listen, we're gonna rest when we rest in the Lord, right? While we're here. Yeah. So absolutely, man, your environment, super, super important.
So they always say, find the right people. Whatever circle, if I look at your circle, I can tell you your future. Based on
you sound like my mother.
What they're doing, how they moving. If it was not for John, we wouldn't be working out 7 days a week. Invite yourself to the right circle in order to move faster. Because I have one of my biggest friends. He told me this. He said, "Bro, if you don't," this way he told me. This is how he got me to work out even more. He said, "Man, your daughters, man, they 6, 7 years old. This was 3 years ago. Then when I started working out." I said, yeah, I got some beautiful daughters. He said, yeah, man, when you think they're gonna get you think they're gonna get married and stuff? I said, of course, they have a great role model in their mom, my wife. I said, okay, so since I'm the goddaddy, do you want me to walk them to the aisle? I'm like, what you mean? He said, dude, the rate you're going, you're not gonna be here. I'm like, whoa. Then I started working out more. So it's all about being around the right people that's going to hold you accountable and going to speak truth in you. So if I want to hit 7, 8, 9, 10 figures, I want to get into that circle of the people that's doing it already. I want to make friends before I need them. Like Dale Carnegie said. You know, so that book you said, I think I read L2. I think it's by Pritchard. That's a good book. I need to go back to the basics and educate myself on that quantum leap. That's very powerful. And Myron Golden, he's one of the GOATs, man. So you guys are not following him, you should be. If you don't have friends,
we do not get paid for this promotion. We do not get paid for this.
Not yet.
Yeah. Well, I think we gave a lot, John. I don't know about you. What do you think? I think this was all meat, guys. No carbs.
All protein, right?
All meat, all protein.
That's it, man. That's it. And I'm just trusting and believing that my microphone is working right. I promise next time, if it's not working right now, I'm gonna stay up all night fixing this bad boy up because we got a lot of things to say. And I know, like, again, what we're saying here is not theory. All right, we've gone through it. We're going through it, right? We're doing it. It's tested. It has been proven by us and by other people, right? So, I mean, look, this is the reality, man. And I put it on my stories the other day on social media. So if you're not following me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram, John Medina CEO, right? And make sure you follow all of us here. But I put it on my social media yesterday. If you're not earning at least $10,000 a month, man, what are we doing? All right, $10,000 a month. It is not a lot of money. I promise you. The first time I did $10,000 in a month, which in my mind, I didn't even think it was possible as a quote unquote business owner, right? I did it in 45 days. I hired a coach. I paid him $2,500 a month. Alex Schlinsky. I'm going to put him out there with POD, Prospecting on Demand. That guy did me the right way in my mindset, right? It wasn't nothing that I had to change. It was a few SOPs. I didn't even know what an SOP was, right? Standard operating procedure. It was just little things in my business that I had to tweak. And I went from like 4,500 to like 17,000 in like 45 days. A month, monthly recurring. I didn't have to change a lot. It was more in my mind. It had to be to unlock myself, right? It's like I mentioned last week. I have this coach named Jados, right? Jados Fitness. Guess what? He's unlocking the next level because why? Because he makes over $1 million a month. I haven't done that in a year. All right. I haven't done it yet. But guess what? And you go write this puppy down in the next 12 months, we'll be cracking 7 figures. Right? Why? Because it's a belief. Money is not a physical thing. People think that money is a physical thing. Money is a spiritual thing. The Bible says, let them prosper according to how their spirit prospers. Right? I know it in Spanish. It sounds way more beautiful. But let them prosper according to how their spirit prospers, right? What's that saying? That's saying let them prosper based on their mindset, based on their belief, based on their knowledge, based on their application, right? You just have to change a few things. 10,000 is a baby step. You know, I got 3 sons. I want to teach them how to make 10,000. I'm already showing them how to take $5, turn into 20, and just keep doing that puppy up. Then you look back, you're like, whoa, what have I done here? All right. So that's it. Listen, we're halfway through the month. What's the fastest way to make 6 figures in 2024? Is start looking for something that you can make $10 with. Then do the math. How many of those must you sell daily to get to that math? And you can do it 6 months, 6 days, whatever. I believe it's definitely possible, right? So I hope that's helpful. How do we wrap this puppy up? I know we're gonna be streaming again next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern time, right? Last words, guys. What do you got?
I want to say, look, it's all about collapsing time frame. It's all about believing yourself and finding the right people that's moving the way you want to move. So 6 figures, 2024, let's do it.
Oh, John, you can go. I'm going to go last. Go ahead, John. Your last word.
Oh, he's saving the good stuff for last. But listen, man, again, Quantum Leaps was the fastest way to get to a 6-figure mark or to get to whatever goal you have. Find someone that's already there and stretch your hand. Don't stretch your hand asking for something. Stretch your hand as value. Become valuable to that person or have that person just show you. All right? There's a lot of opportunities out there. And trust me, listen, we got opportunities right here, right now. We can mentor you, right? This is not the call to action, but we got you, right? We've done multiple 6 figures, right? That's child's play. Now we're talking about 7 figures, right? We're getting into circles where we're talking about 6-figure days. All right. Now, how do we crack that? That's where we're at. So if we already have the next 9 step that you got to take, we're your fastest shortcut. Or any mentor. Find something that you like. Go find somebody that's there and you stretch the hand. Trust me. And if you got to pay them, pay them. You pay your rent. What does that do? Make you sleepy. All right? Go pay something so you can start living. So, Leo, wrap us up, sir.
Beautiful, 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 man. You guys said it all. All you need is an opportunity, the right mentorship, copy the right cat. Guys, we dropped a lot. I hope you saved this. Just go back, listen to it. There'll be playbacks on all our Facebooks. John, you could just tell them yours real quick, and then Mark, mine is Dynasty Legacy Group. You can find me on Facebook or Instagram. John, what's yours?
You can find me under John Medina CEO on all the platforms. You'll find me right up there.
Mark, I'm official _ Mark Tirolia, MarcTirolia.
Guys, I hope you caught that. It is another episode of ETA, Entrepreneurs in the Arena. We'll catch you on the next one.
Let's roll.
We're out of here.